Let's move on to a little bit more happier moments. At least happier for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, let's get on to the first game of the weekend. It's a football show, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all know this right now. Y'all ask some Joel Embiid questions right now. They ain't not gonna be answered till Thursday. I do not give two fucks.
But see, well, hold on, Nick. Before you get into it, man, you know, there's a reason why this man got a cap on, because he been all cap so far.
Yeah.
Because me and him, we texted. He was like, "Hey, bro, Bengals could go to the Super Bowl," and I told him, "Hey, look, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The path."
He gave me all the reasons why they couldn't.
I said the path was gonna be difficult only for one reason. You can't keep Joe Burrow up. That's the bro. Everything else they had, and I told you that. The only thing that was my concern was keeping Joe Burrow up, and they did what they needed to do.
They didn't.
He got hit.
Let me say this.
Mhm.
Joe Burrow kept himself up.
Look,
I gotta get him, man. I gotta say I was wrong on Joe, because Joe did his thing.
They was asking for you to give me an
I
apology.
said it before. I said it last week, but I'm gonna say it again.
So you still taking Herbert?
Yeah,
But
your boy, yay! That's something else though. That's
Okay, what is it?
Hold on, we're gonna get to it. Because I don't feel like cussing them out right now.
No. Like I said, I'm admitting that I was wrong.
Okay.
I'll start this off with super chat from Mars is too far. Shout out to you. It says, congrats, Nick, from an Eagles fan. My question: if Burrow wins Super Bowl, where is his ceiling? So let's just go into before we get to the Super Bowl talk. Let's just talk about the game itself.
Mm-hmm.
The question that I see when the few media coverage that they talk about the Bengals, mostly it's talking about the Chiefs collapsing. Do y'all feel like the Chiefs this loss, the Chiefs collapsed, or was it the Bengals winning?
My thing is, if you're Patrick Mahomes, you can't lose that game.
Mm-hmm.
That's my stance with
Not
him.
like that.
Yeah, not
That's
like
the same
that.
way the last game was.
So
percentage wise, how much?
Because
we did the same thing for who did we do that for?
So you're saying percentage on Mahomes,
Yeah, we did that.
Or just like Mahomes
Aaron
and
Rodgers.
who else? Yeah, we
Okay.
did it for Aaron Rodgers because it was it wasn't a similar collapse, but basically it was.
I haven't thought about it in that way. Because I really want to give the Bengals more props than the Chiefs, because I think the Chiefs actually reverted back to their old ways at the wrong time.
Which is what?
Which is how they were planning to start the season. They forgot how to win fucking football games. So everything that I gave them props for, winning those close games, taking the play that's there, not forcing them, not always looking a big play, all that stuff that they cleaned up to win some of those games when the defense was suspect, came back. And it came back in play calling, I guess at the end of the half, when Mahomes basically tried to make more of a play and just instead of taking the 3 points. He just got too cute. He started feeling himself as he normally does, and he just started thinking, "Oh, I've been watching him this whole time. You know, I can do what I need to do in the second half. They ain't gonna stop me." And they did, but you don't get there, man, without resolve, without determination, without guts, without believing in that quarterback in the locker room, especially after doing it again, and just having a glimmer of hope when they didn't score or get 3 points. That makes you believe. And if you're the Bengals, you'll be like, man, 80 points ain't shit. So you come out and you know, you take the game and that's it. So I think it's more about what the Bengals did and less than what the Chiefs didn't do.
I agree with you. I'm gonna obviously go last on this. FIFA, what's up?
Nah, the game I watched was Mahomes lost this, and I give him 80% of the blame.
You know they calling him Machoke in the chat.
That's fine.
I see what they call him, Machoke.
Yeah,
Machoke. To me, it's 80% on Mahomes. Why? Because when you saw them first 3 drives, that man was doing whatever the hell he wanted to do, like he typically does.
Yes.
Now, you know, he's human. You know, you're going to have ebbs and flows. You're going to have ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? But to me, for whatever reason, when they didn't get points at the end of that half, he looked like a different quarterback. He looked tight. He didn't look loose, right? Loose in a sense of out there balling, right? And when I mean balling, when you're in the zone, you're not thinking. You're just playing. And it looked like he was thinking. It looked like he was, you know what I'm saying? Like it didn't look fluid. And to me, Cincinnati took advantage of that because Cincinnati had confidence. They had overwhelming. Look, when Joe Burrow pulled up the way he pulled up,
Hey, you talking about the coat, with the chain? Hey, bro. From then on, bro. And I was trying to wait on this because he kept asking me this through the season. He was like, bro, why? Like, well, how you feel about Joe Burrow? I was just trying to take my expectations because I've been fooled before.
Yeah.
I've seen Carson Palmer. You know what I'm saying? I remember
was nice.
I remember Achilles Smith. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I remember Achilles too.
I'm just saying, like,
I prayed
I've
for
been
Achilles.
fooled before, and I was like, but it wasn't until these players like, bro, we got a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
It was before the playoffs. It was that Chiefs game in the regular season. Like, bro, we got a fucking quarterback.
No, fuck that.
Go ahead.
I saw it first season. Look, because remember, coming out of LSU, I think I had the biggest question mark on Joe Burrow. Like, hey, bro, can you do it at the? And then the first game, I said, okay, well, shit, he made me eat my words. But in terms of this game, man, the Bengals had a certain level of swagger. Now, I don't use that word often, but they just had the swag with them, and you saw that they believed. I know it sounds corny, it sounds very, hokey, but they believed and they saw it.
Why did Mahomes look like a different quarterback in the second half?
He got tight. I don't know what else or why.
The Bengals made adjustments.
Look,
That was huge.
Ken,
That's why I'm looking at the Bengals.
Ken, I'm not saying that the Bengals ain't do what they had to do to win the game. But what I'm saying is down the stretch, when we saw Josh Allen, right? Like he stepped up. Mahomes stepped up too. We saw a quarterback duel.
We saw confused the shit out of him.
We saw that too,
Yes.
and I want to get your points too, Sheldon. We saw that too, but we also saw what everybody was talking about in the background of a great game. Horrible defense.
Oh, of course. Yeah, okay. Look. I'm talking about the two quarterback right now.
No, but I'm just saying, like, you get those performances when you got niggas in the secondary falling down and shit. You know what I'm
But
saying?
I ain't even. You know what's crazy though, Nick? I'm not even gonna say it was horrible defense. I'm just gonna say it was Burrow outplaying.
No, I was saying you saw those
In the Bills
performances
game.
in the Bills
Oh,
game
the Bills
because
game.
of
In the Bills game. Yeah,
I'm saying when you face a real defense, shit change.
Look, all I know is that what my eyes told me was the Bengals were confident.
Mm-hmm.
They got punched in the mouth to start that game.
Yeah.
3 straight possessions.
More than punching them out, they never got shot in the head.
And they was like, that's cool. That's all you got?
Yeah.
That's cute. That's cute. Watch what we do.
Well-
and they came out and they just had more arrogance about them.
And that's what I was gonna say. The thing about it is, and I talk about it all the time. I say the same thing all the time. A lot of as your leader goes, so goes the team.
100.
And a lot of times when you see these situations happen, if the leaders kind of shook a little bit, the whole boat gonna be shaky. But if you are like, I got this, y'all relax, it's all good, everybody gonna feel like that. So it's not that the Bengals had so much better defense than the Bills had. They just had so much more confidence in their leader and the fact that he could still get it done even though they were down at the point.
And another thing too, and I got to say this, Tony Romo's probably the best analyst in football. I thought he was overhyped when they were trying to pay him $20 million a year. And I'm like, hey, Tony Romo. But I think he's the best analyst. And one of the things that he pointed out that I didn't realize, I don't watch the Bengals like that throughout the year. You know what I'm saying? But he was saying after that loss, I want to say it was against the Bills or one of those heartbreaking losses that they had, Zach Taylor started throwing on first and second down a little bit more, getting the ball in my best player hand. Joe Mixon is nice, but his O-line ain't, you know what I'm saying? So we got to be aggressive early. And in that first half, the Bengals didn't come out aggressive. They came out, okay, well, let's feel them out. Like what's happening? You know what I'm saying? Like we never been here before. What does it feel like? And you saw that to a degree. And then that second half, like, they not who we thought they were, man. Like, wipe these boys off the thing, man. Who the hell are these guys?
But you know what's crazy is still, like even saying that the Chiefs didn't play bad defense, so to speak. It's just that they were coming at it was a couple of those third downs, they had them dead to rights. That one with Chris Jones
had him by the whole thing.
That's when I was like, oh, it's over. They're in the Super Bowl now because he
Your
took
best
their
defender.
Heart. He took what they did best and exploited it and got by. They got one sack that game. And, this team is known. I was like, man, this line going to kill him. if he keeps this up. And they just couldn't get to him.
I wasn't worried about the defensive line. I wasn't worried about the Chiefs being up. I wasn't really worried. The first half, I seen it before. Week 17.
Yeah.
Ending that first half in week 17, they were up 28-10. They were actually up more than what they were in the playoffs. And we shut them out the same way that second half. Ken mentioned it's the defense, bro. But it's the defense. And I'm only saying that because no other team, we've seen so many teams the Chiefs have played and they've found a way to win. Against the Bills with 13 seconds left, they found a way to win. This defense, and we talk about, and someone mentioned in the chat, the overtime rules and all that shit. This defense shows that this is a bend, don't break. They let you, all right, we're going to let you get, if I told you going into that game that Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and Mecole Hardman are going to score a touchdown, and they're going to be up 18 points going into the half, you'd be like, bro, that's it. That's a wrap.
Yep.
That second, bro, Cincinnati is a second half team. That was my homegirl from Cincinnati. Shout out to Tyler. She said that the Bengals are a second half team.
They are.
And she said that when we were 21-3 going into the third quarter. And it proved that. We scored 24 points to 3 points in that second half. Similar situation was in week 17. I have to give credit to that second half adjustment by the defense. I've never seen Mahomes look the way he did. Throughout the whole playoffs, when we're talking about the number one defense, the number one defense with the Bills, all that shit that we've talked about, I've never seen Patty Mahomes do that, and I can't credit to him choking because I've never seen him choke before. So I have to credit to who caused this situation to happen.
But we have seen Mahomes struggle like he's never struggled before.
When? Let me ask you. Let me ask you when.
In the regular season and in these playoffs.
No, not like this. Because remember, not like this because shut out. Tyreek Hill had no yards second half. When have you ever seen that? 3 points in totality. I think he only threw for less than 50 or 60 yards in the second. Like, I've never seen that. He loses games. Trust me. I've seen that. Of course, he's human. But I've never seen him be shut down.
Yeah.
He looked like he didn't know what to do.
And you know what?
Exactly.
Like, and sometimes that happens, right? Like, because I saw, Ken, what you were saying that, we anointed Mahomes a little too early. But at the same time, we gotta, mind you, what was it, 4th year in the league? 4th year.
Yeah.
4 straight AFC
titles. Yeah, starting.
5 years.
5 years, 4 years starting.
4 years starting. 4 straight AFC title games. You know what I'm saying? Like
one Super Bowl.
But how many quarterbacks even make 4 title games in a career?
Donovan McNabb went to what, 6?
I understand, but he ain't even win one though. And who was the head coach? The same guy. So it is what it is. No, I understand. But that's the only one that you could give me.
Oh, Buffalo Bills went
Jim
to 4.
Kelly.
They went to 4 straight, right?
Jim Kelly.
Yeah.
They went to 4 straight.
Okay, fine.
3 to 4
you can't give me another one. Outside of Tom Brady, but he
It's
won.
not a lot.
It's not a lot. You know what I'm saying? The percentage is very small. I know. Come on now. But look, at the end of the day, what happened was, and here's the thing. Hold on. Nick, your defense is very stout. I'm not going to say amazing all time, but very stout. I want to say 9 players have been drafted in the 3rd round or higher on that defense.
That's crazy.
Well, we bought some niggas this year, so it ain't all drafted.
No, but even though you bought them, where were they drafted? 3rd round and higher. So that means that there's a lot of talent on that side, even though they don't have household names. Outside of Jesse Bates,
I wouldn't even say he's a household name.
He's really not. And Logan Wilson, those are the 2 best overall defenders that you have, and they're not household names yet.
What's his name?
DJ Reader.
No, the white boy, Hendrickson.
Oh yeah.
That's who I thought.
Henderson.
Yeah, nobody know anybody on the Bengals.
Yeah.
They don't.
They're still, and that's why they're still most of them still young. So
they're talented. And what I was saying about Mahomes is he's 5 years in. You know what I'm saying? He's still young.
Keep going with the excuses, bro.
I'm not excusing. I'm just saying that you still gotta allow for some growth and for some things that don't go right to grow from them things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's 10 years in.
But here's the problem I had though. When we talk about growing, I would have expected him to grow from that first game to this game.
Thank you.
So I was thinking, and I'm a big Mahomes supporter. I was thinking when they went up, I was like, oh, this it. It's over. And everybody was like, well, you know the Bengals. I said, I know they did it. That's why I say it's over, because Mahomes is not going to let them do what they did to him the first time. And lo and behold, they did the exact same thing that they did.
Which is why I give Mahomes, I think it's 50-50. I give Mahomes half, and I give Andy Reid the other half.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's like
that part.
They average, I think, I forgot who said it. I think it was on ESPN, maybe Dan Orlovsky. Somebody said it. They average like 6 yards per run, per carry,
and that's
in that game.
correct.
Oh, in that game.
So
that game.
Yeah. So that was,
so I'm like, and the Bengals defense was running. They were having a 3-man pass rush.
rushing 3
The whole second half, at least.
Correct.
Definitely. They was only rush. They kept everybody in the secondary.
So and that's what I was going to ask y'all, because I got to go back and watch the game again. I don't remember him ever checking out of any play. I don't remember seeing him check out of.
I don't remember a running back being next to him like that.
So right. So what I'm saying is, knowing the fact that they're only rushing 3, I don't recall Mahomes. First off, Andy Reid didn't make the adjustments. But secondly, I don't recall Mahomes being the quarterback of his stature saying, okay, we checking out his pass. We're going to run, because they can't stop us right here.
Well, I would say, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. What got you there should keep you
but
there.
it was broke.
No, I'm saying at that time they didn't know until they lost. And then because they're up 20, they won 21-3. So I ain't gonna say it was broke. But my thing is this: Andy Reid, the adjustments were not made.
Not at all.
And it's crazy because he's lost 4 games in the playoffs when he's up by 18.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy. I didn't know
having
that.
18 points, he's lost 4. So to me, it's just like, that's why I'm like, when y'all talk about Patty, like, I get it. And I think someone brought up, what's his name? Independent 360 said Nick Stanton now, he got shut out in the Super Bowl against Brady as far as Mahomes choking. I'm like, that's not really choking. He lost his offense. He lost like 2 offensive linemen, and that defense was just out of his world.
He battled.
And he made the throws that he needed to make to put them in somewhat position to succeed. This is I can understand a choke job, because it's like you were up hella at home in Arrowhead, where they say it's the loudest place in the league. They was talking hella shit, especially about how Burrow said, like, nigga, I played in SEC championship games where they throwing 100,000 motherfuckers in the stands. Don't come to me talking about Arrowhead, and we proved that shit. Right. So that's why I'm like, Joey B, yeah, you right. Fuck all them Arrowhead fans for real. But my thing is, like, it has to be on the defense, because again, the only other time I've seen that is in the Super Bowl, but that was with a stacked defense. You know what I'm saying? This, like you said, FIFO, this defensive roster, bunch of no names for most part. Outside if you looked at they draft year.
That was scheme.
Talented.
You know, the thing is, like, Mahomes didn't know what the hell was going on. I thought he had learned, but apparently he didn't. And you know what? I'll give you this, FIFO, in terms of growth. Because he hasn't matured yet as a quarterback. But he's wasting a lot of time. So there's 2 things I want to hit. I want to hit on Andy Reid. I want to hit on Mahomes, especially when it mattered the most. And that's one of the things that you and a lot of people, Shelton, and people on this panel, including myself sometimes, harp on. Like, when you need them to make the play, where are you? You got it first and goal from the 5-yard line, and you go backwards. And because you drop back and you read the coverage, and I maybe he can't read, or maybe he know where to go, and then you start scrambling around waiting for somebody to get open because you're used to those improvisational plays. And then on the other play, you almost fucked that up because you fumbled the ball. Your guy just got lucky and got it back, and then when you got desperate, you just threw something to Tyreek Hill, and he was double covered. You thought he was going to make a play for you.
Still hit him in the hands.
It still hit him in the hand, but like right in the tips of the hand, not in a way he can catch it. So
it was catchable.
It was a dumb throw.
It was.
I don't think
because it was dumb throw because it was double coverage and he was giving up height advantage. Yeah. Tyreek Hill ain't. Somebody mentioned he can jump, but it's still double defenders.
He's not a 50-50 guy.
Right. He's not 50-50.
No. He's not
you go backwards. And on one of those plays, Tyreek Hill went up, and you probably thought you were going to have this corner over here, but the defender kind of faked in and went out, and they kind of blanketed him, and I guess that was his first and only read. And then because Kelsey on that same play came right across the middle, so if you would have read that, you would have like, okay, that's gone. Let me come back to the middle. feel and take this route, maybe throw it low and down so only Kelsey can get it. But instead he wanted to run around and shit. And then, of course, he owned the ball. I thought the game was over at that point because I'm like, Andy Reid's going to find something or Patrick Mahomes is going to make something happen. He didn't. Let's talk about Andy Reid. Ever since he got Patrick Mahomes, they've been talking about how great of a coach he is. I ain't heard these people heap this much praise on Andy Reid.
Since Philly,
and barely then. They ran his ass out of Philly. Let's not forget what this man did in Philly. People be forgetting shit. This man went to what, 5 or 6 NFC championships?
Correct.
And went to what, 1 Super Bowl?
Correct.
With Donovan McNabb, Brian Westbrook,
and Terrell Owens.
And Terrell Owens was playing on a fucking broken leg and outballed everybody on the goddamn
Didn't he have like
field.
200 yards that game?
200 yards because McNabb couldn't
He was
keep
throwing
his shit
up.
up.
Wasn't that when he was throwing up?
In his stomach. Yeah, that's when he was throwing up. But the point is, this is what Andy Reid does. So when are we going to start? We have a right to talk about what Mahomes has done, but we got to look at Andy Reid. For these motherfuckers, bro.
Thank you.
You're following the same fucking pattern.
Yeah.
But okay. I feel you, Ken, and you're not 100% wrong. But let's what was the DN a couple years ago? Houston.
Yeah.
Offsides. The game is won.
Oh, you're talking about D Ford.
D Ford. That's not on Mahomes. That's like, bruh.
We're not saying that.
Nah.
We're talking about.
It's still
Second-
shouldn't
we're
have
talking about-
It shouldn't have been that close.
No, wait. When I'm talking about Andy Reid, we talk about record.
No. We're talking about being outcoached.
But
Yeah, because it
Wait,
shouldn't have been
hold
close
on.
enough for that to
'Cause then
happen.
there's-
Zach Taylor should not outcoach Andy Reid,
So
bro.
then there's
No.
two conversations happening because what Ken just said, we're talking about Andy Reid and what he did with the Philadelphia Eagles and how come with these Chiefs. And you got Mahomes, why you been to 4 straight and only been to 1 Super Bowl?
2
Super Bowls and won 1. Right? So all I'm saying is one of those scenarios had nothing to do with Andy Reid. 1. So I'm not absolving him
They
of
played
all of the
Patriots
other
in
blunders.
that game. But I can't remember the details, and I understand
They lost in overtime.
That's what happened. And
Because
the
of
guy
that-
was off field. And look, if you want to blame that on D Ford, that's
That
fine.
was 100% on
I-
defense.
That's-
the only reason
I
I
get that.
don't is
I
because
get
of what
that.
you said about the 18-point lead.
I'm looking at the history of it. I'm taking totality. So I'm including Kansas City all the way going back to Philly as far as when he's a head coach. Zach Taylor, like I said, he should not outcoach you. Our coaching staff should not have outcoached Eric Bieniemy and Andy Reid, especially on offense. I get on the defensive side. That defense been shitball. Great. We scored 24 points. That's fine. 3 points in the second half, bro, with an Andy Reid and Eric
Right.
Bieniemy's tandem.
Can't happen.
Come on. When Patty Mahomes was throwing 50 burgers in playoff games when he was down 20, are you kidding
And
me?
to me, this is why I give Pat Mahomes 80% of it. Because it was
How?
because what my eyes told me was Pat Mahomes was missing throws. Pat Mahomes felt jittery.
Well, where's the coach?
That's what I'm saying. Is your coach not supposed to rein you in? Like, is your coach not to be like, look, Pat, they
Maybe
playing,
run it a little
they
bit more.
playing,
Yeah, settle
they
down.
only
That's
they
what I
only
was
rushing.
Wait,
Pat,
who?
That
Pat-
was the problem.
No, look at the coverage.
That is their problem, though.
Yeah.
They haven't had a run game since they
No,
traded
that's
for-
not true.
You weren't-
That's not
You
true.
were
Clyde.
not here. They were averaging what, 6
Over,
yards a
they were
carry
averaging at least
in that
6
game.
yards a
They only
carry
had
in
3.
that game from the running plays that they were doing.
Clyde
Okay,
looked
but how
good.
many running plays?
They only did like probably less than 10.
That's the point, though.
Yeah.
Not enough.
That's offensive scheme. If we're
But-
only
but-
but,
but-
that's
but
your
no, but
adjustment.
listen, people,
but
listen.
scheme and personnel go hand in hand.
That doesn't make sense. That
What
doesn't
do
make
you
sense.
matter? Whoa,
That
whoa,
doesn't make sense.
Whoa,
That doesn't
how
make
does
sense
that not make
because
sense?
for this argument, I just said that they rushed for 6 yards per carry. So if scheme is that we're getting these amount of yards per,
But if
that
they
means
ran
that two
4 times, what does that really mean?
because they were rushing only 3 at a time. They had a linebacker or a DN playing spy just in case Mahomes went out. So you mean to tell me if you're only rushing 3 and you average 6,
So look,
you can't get that with
Nick,
that Chiefs offensive line who just traded to get Orlando Brown from the Ravens?
Nick,
Come on, bro.
What I would agree, the only thing I take away from what you're saying, and I do agree, is the Chiefs have to find more balance in their offense. I think that Clyde Edwards-Helaire is not exactly what they thought he was going to be for them.
He's a fringe bust.
But Jared McKinnon
Thank you.
was.
Yeah,
Jared McKinnon was
And
effective.
Pringle, too.
But Clyde Edwards-Helaire, to be fair, he rushed 6 times for 36 yards, right there in the 6-yard average we talked about. So in saying that, they could have rushed him, and maybe the injury slowed that down. I'm looking up.
They're not using him right.
They are. McKinnon rushed for.
They use him as a gadget guy, not a run like
and
a
I've
running
seen
back.
this man run the ball in LSU. We talk in SEC football, and we talking about against.
He used to run in Minnesota.
Bro.
He was the backup to Cook.
Yeah, he used to run motherfucker. Oh, McKinnon, yeah, but Edwards-Helaire, he can run in this league.
And Devontae in the chat, shout out to Devontae for the super chat. He said our defensive coordinator was daring them to run, and
Yes,
they didn't.
They did.
That's the 100% truth, and that's what I noticed. Throughout the game, they put a lot of pressure on Patty. Patty running around in circles. He's doing that. Like I said, I kept saying he's doing the Kyler Murray thing. Kyler Murray will do that same thing where he turns his back to the defense and runs in that circle. But you ain't got Kyler Murray feet, and you ain't got no business doing that no way. It works sometimes, but for the majority of the time, that wasn't working. So in saying that, they should have took some of the pressure off, running the ball, make that defense come back up, and open things up over the top.
And then to give the other 50 that I give to Patty is whatever I've been saying all season long. That's been obviously is the most kryptonite for most quarterbacks, but for Patty, it's really that glaring turnovers. I was like, bro, when Patty don't turn the ball over, bro, he is the best quarterback in the fucking league, damn near league history. In the Bills game, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. In this game, 2 picks in the second half, bro. One pick in the second half, 1 in overtime. Come on, bro. You're not winning games like that, especially if you're not throwing the ball down the field. Tyreek Hill has 0 yards.
Yeah.
When has Tyreek Hill ever been shut down like that in a playoff game?
That's what I'm saying.
You got to
to me that scheme
right?
In the second half.
To me that scheme, you get him the ball, you figure it out. That's a
Even
Debo type player.
Jet sweep something. This man got to touch the ball.
He got to touch the ball. And if he's
then you throw it to him in double coverage in OT when you didn't need those yards.
Hey, what about that fumble though? That Mixon fumble.
Oh, I saw them.
Ken, I tweeted this out, Ken. I was like, God's a Bengals fan. Because I didn't know that shit until on Monday. When I found out, I was like, oh, yeah, that nigga didn't really get touched. He gave him the ball. I was like, we got a white man on the quarterback, so white man luck this time.
And when I saw it, I was like, oh, shit, this would be a terrible way for them to lose.
Bro, that would have been the most Bengal way to lose the game.
I know.
And I would have been I would have been flipping tables on this dog. If I would have seen that shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but they came through, man. Like, and that 2-point conversion, like there was a lot working against.
Yeah, I knew they were gonna get that 2-point conversion because they were playing Chase heavy all game. They doubled even Chase said he was like in the post game conference. He was like, oh yeah, they played cloud. They had a safety up top for me, and they was keeping a corner on the outside in case I wanted to do that shit.
Yeah, Higgins got off. He came through.
Higgins came through. He caught everything I needed him to catch.
Yep.
And this is partly why I said Tony Romo was the best in the business. What did Tony Romo say was the X factor? He said with Uzama out, Higgins had to go across the middle and be the X factor for that offense.
And I thought that's what was going to hurt more than anything. I was losing Uzama early. I was like, man, they ain't going to have no chance.
He was our literally 4th or 5th option.
He was a security blanket.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and then he gets it in critical situations. 3rd and 4, we passing the ball. Oh shit, they double teaming.
There he is.
Yep, there he
Honestly, if you want me to keep it a beam, Tyler Boyd is our safety blanket.
He is. Yeah, he is
like
too.
There were certain 3rd down plays where they were focused on Chase. Tyler Boyd was wide open. Tyler Boyd to me is our most safest option when it comes.
Appreciate that, Fabian, saying I was right
about
Mahomes.
That's cool.
I just think Tyler Boyd is our safest option when it comes to just getting a 3rd down or a crucial yardage.
But where does he operate versus where Uzama operates?
Yeah,
for a quarterback, line of sight means something, and that tight end is typically.
It's just crazy they can't work into they haven't worked him into the offense yet. Tyler Boyd,
and it's so and good. Once they do is it open because even
a lot of
they did a little bit. It is a lot of mouths, but they did a little bit of that
3 wide receivers, a tight end, and a running back.
And a running back.
Tight end's a safety net. He don't have to be.
But
Uzama.
But it's working. Though. You know what I'm saying? It's been working.
It's another mouth, Ken.
I would say the one thing I was more focused on was Joe Mixon getting his touches. And boy, did you see that catch that he had, that one-handed motherfucker?
That was nice,
bro, I was like, this nigga showing out, boy.
That was nice.
Hey, Joe Mixon, top 3 back in the league. I'm telling you.
Well, if y'all been following 365, Nick called it. He said they weren't scared of the Chiefs. He said they can beat the Bills. The Bills didn't get there, and it was somebody else, the Titans. He was like,
hey, he wasn't worried about it.
He was prophetic about this one. It's all documented. And these
I'm just
motherfuckers
saying.
damn sure beat them motherfuckers.
Man,
They did.
God damn.
Do y'all look at Patty differently after this?
I do.
Why?
Because I haven't seen there's another level of growth that he'll need to get to win more football games. This free flowing improvisational style, he got to get that out of his system. It's cute for a while, but at some point you got to sit back and you got to just be able to take what the defense gives you. And when it's going, it's going. But when it's not, he kind of folds, man.
For me, playtime is over with Patty.
Yeah.
Meaning that, like how you were alluding to, Ken, you got to call some audibles. Meaning, all right, look, they only rushing 3. Let's run this motherfucker real quick. You know what I'm saying? If they playing deep, 2 safety deep, only taking the middle short routes.
Yep.
Like, that's quarterbacking.
Yeah.
Like, what he was doing is Madden quarterbacking.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Slinging that bitch like 13 seconds. Like, that's some shit FIFA. You know what I'm saying? We
That's
going.
FIFA. I was thinking that too. That's
Just
FIFA.
because I put 50 up on you, bro, that
You
don't
ain't
mean
put 50. Let's keep it a bean. But,
Hey, but I did
I'm
put
just saying,
70 on the Rams,
like,
though.
to score that quickly is a video game-esque type of
Mhm.
No,
play.
100%.
That's not going to win you games.
100%.
Like, or the big games all the
No,
time.
I 100% agree because, and this is where I was talking about growth. I don't look at Pat Mahomes different. I look at him like, okay, you're here, and the rest of these quarterbacks, I feel like Pat Mahomes had about a year or 2 head start on the rest of these guys.
Mhm.
And it was like, oh shit, don't nobody look like that. And now it's like, well, shit, you
Now,
got about 4 or
yeah.
5 of them that
Now
look
you
like
got-
that.
Josh Allen right there.
Yep.
Joe Burrow just beat you.
Herbert from a
is in your
talent
division.
perspective,
Yep.
Yes.
Y'all ain't
So-
mentioned
so
Lamar yet. And he's
Lamar,
still-
no, of course.
And
Lamar's
he's still
up
there.
there. Lamar's still there.
done.
Don't chill out.
But there's a whole bunch of quarterbacks that feel that you're no longer a step or 2 ahead of. Like, they're where you are now. So what are you going to do to elevate? You know what I'm saying? And the part of the growth, and 100% to what Nick is saying, he got to take, and nobody is this quarterback, but it's just growth. What can you add to your game? You got to look at who came before you and what you can do. He got to add a little bit more Peyton Manning.
He got to become a game manager.
No. He needs a lot of Brady in him.
He need a game manager.
He need both of them.
Both of them.
Both of them. He needs both of them. So he needs the pre-snap ability. Like, okay, I know we call some long shit. They come in. Let's do this quick.
You got to be a coach on the field.
He got to be a coach on the field. That's the next level to his game because he has everything else. Arm, we don't have to question. Playmaking, don't got to question. But we got to question patience.
Mhm.
We got to We got to question decision making. What Pat Mahomes got to do, he got to be able to kill people with 1,000 cuts.
Yeah.
Because we know with the fucking shotgun you got. You got the Megatron arm, bro. We know you got that. But can you?
Well, and the other thing is these type of runs go just like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens if or when Andy Reid leaves? What happens when
Kelsey
you can't
gets hurt?
pay?
Is not the same guy.
Kelsey, Tyreek Hill. Hardeman is fast like him, but he's not Tyreek Hill.
And they're not gonna be able to pay Hardeman.
I was gonna say, what if Harmon leaving free agency?
You can't pay him.
So, and you just can't, are you going to be able to plug and play guys like that? So Patrick Mahomes has to learn how to play quarterback.
Did y'all see during the game that Hardeman and Tyreek Hill got into it?
Mm-hmm.
That was in the first half.
I felt like that. I don't put too much to it.
Well, it does happen, but I highlighted that because I was thinking like, dang, he's saying he's not getting the ball.
Who said that? Hill?
No,
Hardeman.
McCole.
He's like, y'all not even looking at this first half now. This was happening when they were up and it was going good. I'm like, dang, take note of that because maybe, he's on to something like you forcing it. And like you said, when they make the adjustments, are you going to make the adjustments along with him and get the ball to this man? Because he's saying if he boasting like I need the ball, are you gonna make that adjustment?
McCall Hardeman needs to sit his ass down.
No, but McCall, look, and I agree to a degree, but
how many degrees?
About 2.
Don't worry, kid. I'm about to cuss his ass out.
About 2 or 3 degrees because when you're consistent, and this is the reason why you go get a number 1 guy. You want him to take all of the double teams. You want him to. So your other guy can eat. So you got to go feed the other guy. When you see double team, triple team, Higgins, you got to go give McCall the ball.
First of all, I'm going to let you know right now, McCall Harmon ain't Higgins.
I'm not saying, we're not saying that.
No, I'm just saying, let's keep it a bean.
We're not saying
Higgins
that.
in his second
point, though.
Higgins in his second year is better than McCall Harmon.
We're not saying that.
And I'll say this again. Who the fuck is McCall Harmon?
Thank you. Sit your
He
ass
ain't no household name. Do you know what number he is, FIFO?
Man, he had caught that
What number
long,
is he?
that
What
long
number is he, Shelton?
17. He had
Oh,
caught
okay.
that long
Shelton
bomb
is the only
early.
him and the few motherfuckers in Kansas City
I just
know who that
numbers.
is. Mecole Hardman ain't shit. He wasn't shit. He only got drafted there because Tyreek was over here getting in trouble
Tyreek was
off the
tripping.
field.
Yeah.
He only there because of we need another fast motherfucker.
You need to replace Tyreek, yeah.
We can easily replace you with
So
anybody
it should
else.
have been Josh Gordon is what he's saying.
Sit your ass down.
Shut the
I
fuck
need to
up.
Get the fucking ball.
Mecole Hardman was not a
And-
play
and-
away from
and
winning the
that was-
game.
He ain't even done shit.
That was Pringle's spot.
we not saying that Mecole Hardman is at an elevated level. What we're talking about,
He shouldn't have a voice in the room.
He should not have.
He should not have a voice in the room.
Hell no.
Hey.
What we're talking about is what we just talked about in terms of playing quarterback. You got this guy double teamed all the time. Obviously, they want to take away Kelsey. I'm not saying feature Mecole. What I'm saying is take the pressure off. And that's, again, alluding to what I was saying earlier,
started
where
feeling himself.
Mahomes feels
Because he got
tight.
that long.
Yep.
It's the lack of run game. Somebody mentioned in the chat.
I agree.
The ghost of Kareem Hunt is
Kareem
going
Hunt.
to haunt this
100%.
team.
It is.
100%. Kareem Hunt is the perfect running back for all of this.
Oh, this is what
He
they
can run
We
in
need
the
to be
middle,
having this conversation.
outside.
They should have took
This-
the bullets.
This
They
one
should put that
yeah.
meeting in the press, Dick.
They should have.
Yeah.
They should have.
This wouldn't have been a conversation.
The beating would have been less than what he gave out.
2 or 3 Super Bowls in 4 years.
Correct. This would not be a conversation if they had Kareem Hunt. Alex Hayes said the Chiefs mixed Kareem Hunt. They need a run game.
They do. But they also got to call run plays.
Let me
They
ask
gotta call run
let me
plays.
ask one more question before we move on to the next game. Now, obviously, it's gonna be a Joe Burrow question.
Mhm.
Is Joe Burrow the best QB in the AFC right now moving forward?
No. The only reason why I'm gonna say no.
Who's the number one?
Mahomes.
Mahomes still for you?
Mahomes still number one.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. Like the same thing with the Rodgers thing. Like when we talking talent, we talking about winning. 2 different things. Joe Burrow could win. He's proven that. He's national title game 2-3 years ago, and he's in the Super Bowl now.
Yeah.
Shit. And I gotta say something to that too. But Mahomes has the most. It's oozing, bro. Like I still have not seen some of the things he still does. So he's still the best overall quarterback. Does that mean that he's gonna be the most winningest quarterback? No.
What do you value more, winning or talent?
It depends on where you are as an organization.
I'm just asking you.
What
Black and white.
Talent.
Okay.
Because when I have the talent, then I could put the other pieces to make it work.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? If I have a winning quarterback, then it's like, well, damn, where are we with the talent? You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Like, where's the rest of it? You know,
Gotcha.
so that's kind of hold on. But what I wanted to say about Joe Burrow, the biggest takeaway I have from this game, he putting a lot of pressure on these other QBs, bro. All of you young motherfuckers, we talk about, oh, well, you ain't got no O-line, well, you ain't got no weapons, you ain't got. This guy made it to the Super Bowl, and he beat Mahomes. What's
on the
your
road.
excuse?
On the road. Beat the number 1 and number 2 seed on the road.
So what Joe Burrow did, he fucked up the timeline for a lot of quarterbacks. Justin Fields, where you at? Tua, the fuck out of here. Herbert, you on watch. All of them other quarterbacks that are grouped in Burrow's
Draft class.
window.
Yeah.
Nick is probably the biggest Burrow fan because he played for Cincinnati.
That's default.
Yeah, but
I actually like Patty though. I still would say Patty's the best.
yeah, I need to see, as much as I love Burrow, I need to see another year of this. And I think he can sustain. I think they get the line. I think they can replicate this easy.
The line is the last thing they need.
But I gotta see it one more time.
Sound like Manny.
Huh?
Ooh.
No.
Nah, he don't. There's a big difference with him and Manny.
Yeah, because I've acknowledged, like, but to the question, is he the best in the AFC? I got to see it one more time. I'm not ready to crown him yet.
Gotcha.
Patrick, 4 years of the AFC Championship. It's been
that's tough.
sustained.
Yep.
Lamar is falling off.
Injuries,
Allen
though.
is right. Part of it, though.
100.
Because those injuries can happen again. This is twice. This is two years in a row where this has happened to him.
But they got to
and Allen is on the rise.
It's just so crazy though.
And
how,
Herbert is kind of like right here.
Yeah. It's just so crazy how we started though. Because like I said, week 7, Lamar is the MVP of this league. We
That's what
talking
y'all was saying.
Lamar.
Shit,
Lamar,
even
Lamar,
week
Lamar.
wasn't it week 8? The Bengals were the leading in the AFC. They were number 1 seed in the AFC, and that's when I was talking. I was talking shit then when I was like, bro, this might be the best team in the AFC. Like, why not? But for me, it's like I asked that question just to get y'all thoughts. I'm not saying that he is, but I just feel like, again, and I don't know, maybe because it's the city, the coverage of him hasn't been up until this. Like, they still keep talking about, like, how did these teams lose, not how did this team win.
100%.
And it's not like Higgins won a national title with Clemson. Chase obviously won a national title with Burrow. And it's like, you got these motherfuckers who have championship-esque experience. So like when they say like, oh, these niggas too young, like, yeah, they're young in age, but not in experience.
Not in experience. And Joe Burrow's
Nobody was saying
26.
Mahomes was too young.
That's because he's probably sat out a year. That's why. And it's Andy Reid.
I was gonna say you're right about that, but I think that the league wasn't prepared for this. They wasn't ready for this. They didn't really want this to happen. They kind of wanted Mahomes back for the viewership and for, that was gonna be the big story.
But the league knows that. I mean, shit, I think who put it in? I think Manny or Kyle, one of them, put in the chat like the end of the era, where all the quarterbacks from like the early 2000s shit, Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers, now Tom Brady, like they're all retired now. So we're supposed to be propping up the new crop of QBs. And Burrow, before he got hurt, was looking like he was going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Burrow had a name coming into the league.
Then when he got hurt, that's when Justin Herbert came, and that's when his legend got bigger.
But see, what I'm saying is it happened too soon, because like we talked about earlier, half the viewers don't even know anybody else on the Bengals roster. You know what I'm saying? So in saying that, it's hard. The league hadn't prepared to push them yet.
I understand where you're coming from, but Joe Burrow had a name coming out of LSU, bro.
Yeah, that's Joe. I'm saying, but like we talked about, how many people would know that Joe Mixon was the third leading rusher in the NFL?
But I think the quarterback is, and for the most part, the stars. So instead of we don't need to talk about T. Higgins and
but there's a couple names though, at least.
Yes,
at least you got like 3 names on
100%. To Shelton's point, Joe Burrow is already a household name because he came in a household name.
Right.
But that organization and that team has not been propped up to be, one of the teams to look out for. The Chargers have been. You know what I'm saying? Herbert is so this.
Why were the Chargers?
But even the Chargers not even as much.
Right.
I'm thinking more like when I say that once
They're
again.
not.
I'm just saying more than the Bengals.
I think that
I'm saying more than the Bengals.
Everybody's gotten coverage more than the Bengals.
Let's say the Rams, for example. The Rams have OBJ. They got Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, they got an all-star.
They got Aaron Donald.
That's fine.
And not just the all-stars. It's names that are recognizable to fans.
It's market too. Yeah, it's LA. That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
OBJ was OBJ.
It literally has to. It's literally gotten to the point where the Cincinnati Bengals have to get into the Super Bowl for people to talk about this team and the stars that they got.
Baker Mayfield got more coverage than
Baker Mayfield got more commercials than Lamar Jackson, who won MVP and won more playoff games.
But that's what
we know what that is.
But even if you think about that, some people, even on our show, I think, had the Browns at the beginning of the year going to the Super Bowl. So I'm saying these players are elevated. So the league would have been ready to cover a Browns team in the Super Bowl because they had an OBJ Mayfield. At the time.
Kenneth Mayfield.
They had a Baker Mayfield. They had like these players that were known names that they could just push out in front of the camera. The Bengals have Joe Burrow
and Jamar Chase.
But what I'm saying is,
what was the story on Jamar Chase beginning of the season?
Right,
he got bricks for hands.
That's what I'm saying. So they came out of,
and that was my thing. Like, people, because the Bengals history, they want to talk shit as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in preseason, who the fuck do we give a fuck about preseason stats? No one ever talks about preseason stats at all.
That preseason shit come true.
They do.
Rarely does it, though.
But, Nick, let's be honest. Jamar had issues, bro.
Yeah. And
it looked bad.
Yeah, the only reason.
And what did I say? I was here day one. I was like, bro, who gives a fuck? No, FIFA, let me say this. Let me say this. Because I
look bad.
No, I said this. I was like, it wasn't had nothing to do with being a fan of him. I was just like, since when do we give a fuck about preseason? I remember telling you that. I was like, when does preseason matter about any of this shit?
You did. The only reason it mattered to me was because he's a rookie. And when you struggle like that as a rookie, it takes a second to adjust to the league. That dude turned it on like that.
I heard that motherfucker come in the league. He said, "Look, I'm here to break records,"
He did.
and he did
And
that.
he did.
And he
all-
didn't look
all
like
the-
that. Look.
He didn't
He's
look like
still doing that.
But Nick, all of the top
Mhm.
flight wide receivers that we knew were top flight wide receivers coming out, from the moment they stepped on the field, like, oh shit, that looked different.
Yeah.
Jamar looked different in a bad way.
Mhm. He looked awful.
Because
And you don't turn it on. Like a
wasn't
rookie
he-
don't just turn it on.
He was a Biletnikoff winner. You know what I'm saying? Best wide
Mhm.
receiver in college football. Like, we saw him just win a national championship. So for him to play like that, because we're talking about, look, it's one thing to run routes, you know what I'm saying, at the NFL level, but it's at the core of wide receivers to catch the ball. And he had bricks for hands.
He talked about this. He was like, first of all, he had a year off of football because of COVID.
Mhm.
And on top of that, he's talking about the ball difference between college and NFL. There's more white stripes on the college football than NFL. He
There
said,
is no white stripe. Yeah.
yeah, he said I had to adjust to that as far as what I'm seeing before I catch it. And then when in that first game, because if in week one, if he still had the drop issues, I would have been on y'all side like, all right, I'm concerned. Week one, what'd he do? He balled
of
out.
course. Of
And that's when I was just like,
Yeah,
why the fuck was I?
but-
Why the
but-
fuck
but
did
look-
I even doubt this nigga?
But Nick, the
because-
temperature in the room, at least from my perspective, was like 4.5, 5, if that. I wasn't like 7, 8, 9. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I don't know about Jabbar.
There was a lot of headlines because everybody was questioning the fact that Burrow got hurt the year before because of
Yeah.
offensive line.
And they was
And
saying
we
it was
picked
a-
up your wide
everybody
receiver.
thought it was a
They was
mistake.
ready to shit
That
on this
couldn't
nigga.
catch.
Everybody thought it was a mistake. And that's league wide. Like everybody thought it was from watching the preseason. Because like I said,
Not everybody, because I was in the motherfucker.
but
I was like,
you
draft that nigga.
different. You definitely
You different.
you definitely win the minority. Because the league said otherwise.
That's because
And
they
they were
call me
wrong.
Nicky Diamonds. You know what I'm
just
saying?
like I was wrong. The league was wrong.
No. I think you could be wrong and right in this situation because when you see your star quarterback take 9 sacks in a playoff game, like that's not sustainable. And that was my only issue going into this game. Like that's not sustainable, bro. If the damn Chiefs would have had 9 sacks, regardless of however Pat Mahomes and the play call and whatever happened, if I would have told you that the Chiefs had 9 or 10 sacks, do you think that the Bengals win?
Right.
Come on,
Right.
like that's like virtually impossible. That's like saying I'm gonna throw 4 interceptions and we're gonna win by 10.
It just
like,
doesn't happen.
That don't happen.
So
Unless you're Jimmy G.
so as far as the league is
Well, that's
concerned,
different.
in my opinion, I think if league officers were sitting there saying, I want Tom Brady back in the Super Bowl and I want Patrick Mahomes in the Super
Right.
Bowl. That's what the league wanted. As far as for ratings, as far as their whole
Mhm.
machine goes. So when you get a Bengals team in there, it's kind of like, dang, we ain't ready for them yet. Like they're not.
Well, they ready now.
They
would
gotta
never
They gotta get
be
ready
They ain't
now.
got no choice.
They
They
would
They ain't
ain't
got no
choice.
fucking choice because
But
we here.
But that machine is there. Just like it would have been that way even with the Titans. If the Titans had made it, it would have been like, oh, they don't want the Titans in the Super Bowl.
Hell no, not Ryan Tannehill.
Mm-mm.
But
But just like a sissy day nigga, we shut when you don't want us.
I'm gonna say,
You know what I'm saying?
at least with
we
the
here
Bengals.
now.
At least
boy.
with the Bengals, they got a Burrow. The Titans don't even have a Burrow. You see what I'm saying? They don't have a name at all.
They don't even got a chase.
They ain't got to take. They ain't got nothing that you can say. I'm gonna hang my hat on this person for the Titans. So if Tennessee had made it, it would have been really ugly because
Oh,
they
yeah.
ain't got no national fans. So in saying that, that's what it was. It boiled down to. It was
Well-
one super chat that was relative before we went on. I was gonna read real quick. Drink. Hold on 1 second. One drink more water. Yeah, it was drink more water. Said, will Mahomes go down the Rodgers road?
I think I said that
Possible.
in the chat.
Nah, he won't.
Why?
Because he's been to 2 Super Bowls already, and he was just 1/2 away from going to his third.
Yeah,
It's
but
hard to get back.
It is hard to get
Well, at
back,
least
but
he's got
but
to
he's
the
been there
second
4 times straight. So
Yeah.
like Rodgers has never done
Rodgers
that.
has
Rodgers
lost
never
out.
been to 2 Super Bowls. Like Rodgers hasn't done half the shit. that-
Rodgers has only won 1 Super Bowl, but he's 1-4, 1-3. So he's made it to multiple NFC championships.
He not as much as Mahomes, and Mahomes still has
He
a better
hasn't. I thought
AFC. He's still 2-2 right now.
yeah, but to Ken's point, like Kelsey gets hurt, Tariq gets hurt, he gets
Those
hurt.
are ifs.
That's
Yeah.
but
I know
it's
we
part-
drinking.
but it's part of the game though, right? Like it's part somebody.
But
What-
he's still a favorite down the stretch
of
with the team he has now. So
Rodgers
we're
is
saying
the
that
favorite.
he has.
not.
Yes, he has.
I mean, he has, but he hasn't at the
but
same
how many
time.
times has Rodgers won the division? You see, like you know what I'm saying? Like Rodgers has won his division multiple times. So look, I think it's very plausible that Mahomes does go down the Aaron Rodgers road because there's a lot of similarities. Gunslinger, ad-libber, playmaker, big arm. You know, you double coverage. Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna just throw to my guy. We saw Rodgers do the same exact thing with Devontae.
Yeah, Rodgers is 1-4 in the NFC Championship.
So
I know Mahomes
He's
got
had
a better
5 opportunities to go to the Super Bowl.
and Mahomes has a better record in those championship wins.
I know. He's been
much
there
less time.
twice.
yeah,
much
much
less
But
time.
he's played in 4. So he's 1 away from the number that Rodgers has played in, and we only have 1 more appearance.
I honestly think with the AFC, his only competition is in the NFC North between Baltimore and Cincinnati at this point. I think within his division, I think he still will prove that he's better. He's the best quarterback in that division.
Well, he's
you got to
2-2.
talk about Buffalo too, bro. Don't
He's
be
2-2 in the
disrespectful.
No, I'm saying, but Buffalo is just one team. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not another team coming out of that division that's going to really compete with the Chiefs.
Oh no, I agree.
I'm
But
saying the AFC North is like you got 2 teams now.
yeah, 100%.
2 to damn near 3 if Aaron Rodgers go there.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So and then shit, the Browns are quarterback away. you give the Browns Deshaun Watson, bro. Like to me, they're the favorite out of the AFC.
Mhm.
So at the end of the day, to what Ken was alluding to earlier, Andy Reid ain't no spring chicken. Andy Reid decided to bounce. Mahomes can go through a drought.
I mean,
He could be
if
great.
Eric Bieniemy is there as that
But
transition,
Enemy, as much as we love who he is and what he represents, he's a question mark.
He might be.
come
that's
on,
right.
bro.
That's
Don't
right.
do
He might
that.
have been overhyped,
Not
Nick.
on Black History
You're right.
Month, bro.
You're right. But
Yeah.
March 1st, we
Yeah, we
talking.
talking
Yeah,
about March.
that's what I'm saying.
I was
Give me till February 29th.
Yeah.
Whenever that day comes.
But yeah, I would still think that they would get somebody in there that, hopefully by that point he's established himself mentally. Because I still think sometimes Patty ain't there. Like as far as
So you know what, man? Like we have not talked about this here, but have y'all seen his brother and his wife and what the type of distractions
we ain't
that
gotta
they
get
are?
into that, bro.
Hey, the Twitter did.
We ain't
Twitter
gotta get
happened.
into that,
But okay,
bro.
fine. We don't got to go into detail, but that's a real thing. When you have very close people in your entourage that are distractions to the degree that they are,
Bruh.
Mahomes got to put that
I heard
shit.
that.
Bruh, I'm not giving that any light because
bro.
Lawrence Taylor was coked out
Yep.
like a motherfucker
That's a
winning
different
Super
time,
Bowl.
though.
I'm just
That's a
saying,
different
like,
time.
if
That's
we
a
want to
different
talk about
time. That's a
distractions,
different
let's talk
time.
about a
That's a
drug
different
addiction is a
time.
distraction, my
Right,
guy.
it's a real
Let's not
distraction.
keep it like
Hey, man,
just
the
because your brother
The
doing
whole
goofy shit
Steelers'
on TV.
own Andy Line was coked out at the Super Bowl.
I'm
bro.
just saying,
it's a different time.
I get that exactly. Just like these are different times. I'm not putting anything on Patrick Mahomes because his brother on TikTok. Let's keep it a
Right.
beam, bro.
No. See how you marginalize the shit. You see how you marginalize. So we'll move on. We'll talk about it February 29th.
I heard Patrick only celebrate 15 days with Black History Month.
yeah, that's true.
Nah,
I thought it
it's 14.
and a
Yeah,
half.
it's
I wasn't
14.
even 15, it was 14.
His baby only 7.
Shit, maybe 2.5.
That
Goddamn.
baby boy. I'm telling you, if y'all have not seen his baby, please Google
I
search
don't even
that.
think, yeah, I'm
You
gonna say, I
ain't
don't
gonna
think-
know what baby that is. You think he holding a fan baby?
I ain't even gonna think it's 7. Hey, Nick, I'm gonna ask you this real quick. Drink More Water says, does Cincy's defense or offense get more credit for this win?
It's defense. Defense the whole playoff run, honestly. The offense has not I talked about this from the wild card round. Our offense has not been scoring touchdowns to the level of the threat that we keep going into week to week saying,
They
like,
can
oh,
go.
they got the 3, their 3 best wide receivers could match up with anybody in the league. Yeah, but as far as who's actually scored in the end zone, it's only been Boyd and Chase. And now they only got 1 touchdown so far getting to the Super Bowl. So it's not like they've been scoring a lot or have been getting over 100 yards.
But
It's a lot of shooting McPherson.
100%. But at the end of the day, a la Tom Brady, you get the quarterback and the offense got to put those guys in positions to win. So even though I definitely think that the defense has held it down, if it isn't for that offense, you don't win games.
I'm just saying this. The defense when we played Tennessee, they got 3 picks. Defense when we played the Chiefs got 2 turnovers against these high-powered teams as far as offensively. We shut down Derrick Henry for the most
what
part.
happens that you get those turnovers and they don't convert to points? So the offense,
Most of them didn't.
but at the end of the day, Joe Burrow and that offense had to go down and get the points to win the game. So I'm not saying that the defense was not relative, but in my opinion, the offense has been more behind the 8 ball and they've had to come out of their own shell.
I'm going to say this. going into these games, what side of the football did you question the most?
Defense, yeah.
Defense.
And what showed up more than anybody? Again,
Defense,
in the month, they beat Patty Mahomes. They shut Patty Mahomes out
Nice.
as far as scoring a touchdown in the month. The Chargers never did that. They're in the same division.
Ain't nobody
Denver,
done that.
no one's done that.
nobody done
I
that.
have to give credit to the defense, bro. Defense win championship. We talk about that overtime shit with the Bills. Like, oh, we got to change the rules. We got to give a chance at all. Fuck all that shit. Stop these motherfuckers.
Oh, see, now
You didn't know.
I said that shit. I said that shit
Wait,
last.
no.
I said it last week.
I feel like I was on the island
No,
on that shit.
I said that shit. I was like, bro, fuck all that shit.
He
You
did
play
say
deep. We pay all these motherfuckers on defense.
You did
Stop
say
these
that.
niggas.
He said, and I know you definitely agree now.
I did not feel
It's
like
just
I
more-
had
it's
backup
Bro,
in that
I was
shit.
with you. I was with you.
He was
'cause
with you. I'm
Was he?
still against it.
I was with you.
I
I
still
was like,
think
bro.
it depends on the scenario. In that scenario where he turned the ball over, I think at that point is, you screw up your chance. But if they score, never mind.
Nigga, I'm gonna call you New Era, man. You straight cat, bro.
Bro, I'm the most consistent nigga on
No,
here, bro.
hell
When I'm
no.
wrong, I'm wrong.
Hell no.
Just like I was wrong picking the Chiefs. But hey, we right today, boy.
Damn, I should have went with him too. I said it too.